Well, you know, what happens when you till the land is you loosen the soil, and the soil also gets exposed to the air, and even though you've removed the weeds, you left the soil sitting there ripe for erosion, either by soil, by water, or by air. Herbicides were introduced in the United States in the 1950s, and as a result of their introduction, farmers reduced their tillage 4 and 5 trips across the field, and erosion rates came down significantly. In recent years, about 35% of our acres are in no-till farming. Farmers aren't using any tillage at all. They're totally reliant on herbicides to kill the weeds. And as a result, the erosion rates on those farms are down 90%. Some of the other very positive improvements that have been made with the substitution of herbicides for tillage have been less fuel used on the farm. Instead of doing 9 or 10 tillage trips, farmers are doing 1 or 2 herbicide applications. They use 40% less fuel. There's less air pollution. In states like California, where dust from farming operations is a big problem, research has shown that less tillage means about 60 to 70% less dust floating around. Researchers have discovered that by using herbicides instead of tillage, the soil moisture content goes up by 50%. And so in areas of the country where we're relying on underground groundwater resources, those groundwater resources are going to last a lot longer as a result of using herbicides instead of tillage. The organic corn, soybean, wheat, cotton farmers are tilling 9 or 10 times to keep knocking back the weed populations. And as a result of all of that tillage on the organic farms, many of the positive effects that we've experienced in this country are going in the other direction, are going in a really negative way. Erosion. Wouldn't you expect erosion to be higher if you're tilling 9 or 10 times instead of using 1 or 2 herbicide applications? And research has shown that on organic plots, those erosion rates are 4 and 5 times higher than on the no-till plots. Organic farmers are using about 40% more fuel in their operations. They're doing 9 or 10 trips instead of 1 or 2. Soil erosion is higher, fuel use is higher. In California, the airborne dust that's coming off of organic tomato fields is 40% higher than the amount of dust that comes off of fields where herbicides are used. And in the Ogallala aquifer, particularly in the Texas High Plains, where there's some organic cotton, research has shown that they use 78% more water in the organic fields than in the conventional fields. It's a nightmare to think about. It would be an environmental disaster. The erosion rates would be enormous. It would not be sustainable agricultural production. It would be like a return to the way things were back in the 1930s, where our soil was washing away. There'd be much more fuel being used on the farm, more airborne dust. The water would be used up faster from our underground aquifers. It would certainly not be a sustainable agricultural system.